Here now, a former Christchurch officer yesterday pleaded guilty to corruption and bribery charges after offering to let a woman off in return for a sex act. Gordon Stanley Meyer also admitted to indecently assaulting another woman in a police car in 2011. Well, police are already under fire over their handling of the Roastbusters case, with an independent inquiry launched. Meanwhile, an Auckland man's campaigning for more powers to the Independent Police Conduct Authority after he was mistakenly mauled by a police dog 3 years ago, still fighting for compensation. So what are all these cases doing for police morale? To talk about it, we're joined by Police Association President Greg O'Connor. Good morning, Greg.
Yes, good morning, Roy.
You must get so angry when you see scumbags like this Gordon Meyer character admitting to crimes like this when he's in a position of such trust and authority.
Well, what we do get is reassured that when this comes to light, he ends up where he should be, before court. But yes, it makes the rest of us angry. There'll be police officers coming home from work overnight, women and men who've been working out there, house fire in Taniatua, someone had to attend that, and they come and after a night's work see this stuff happening, yes. But he's before court, police put him before court. That's the important thing, to reassure the public that, look, we're not perfect. There's about 11,000 of us, and there's going to be rat bags in there. We've got to find them, we've got to weed them out, and when they do get found, put him before the courts, as Mr. Meyer was.
The trouble is ratbags, or let's expand this slightly, decisions made which aren't in the best interests of the public tend to come in waves. You know, the real damage here for many is, again, public trust in the police. It is questioned.
Yes, those of us whose task it is to bring some reason to these things, it is a trying time at the moment. But look, let's break them down to its component bits. The Roastbusters, that was the unfortunate thing from a police point of view on that, was the misunderstanding about whether or not there'd been a complaint. As soon as that came out, of course, police were on the back foot and have been accused. The IPC are looking at that. I can reassure the public it wasn't a once over lightly, which is probably been portrayed as, and I'm reasonably confident that when the IPCA look at that, they will see that that inquiry was done well at the beginning. However, as you said, the perceptions out there with different cases stacking on top of each other, what I would ask the public to do is look at them all in isolation. The fact that they have come together does make it a little more difficult, I must admit.
Yes, yeah, I mean, the problem is when you talk about there was confusion over whether a complaint had been laid, I mean, this should be in black and white, surely, and this should be well documented.
Yes, well, it should have been. Lots of things shouldn't have been. But what, of course, again, the reassurance the public do get is that there has been a mistake made and the IPCA will be in there looking at it. The unfortunate thing about it is that, like all these inquiries, despite how many resources are thrown at it, I mean, took the inquiry into how police have acted up there, it will be 3-4 months probably at the best before there is a result. And that's unfortunate. It means that the whole thing will go on until that result comes. It would be nice to think we could get a inquiry result out there much more quickly. However, it's much better than it was. It used to be about 2 or 3 years before we got these results.
Is the IPCA, have we got it right with this? Have you got full confidence in their authority?
Well, it's probably not so much what I have. I think it's the public should have. And what it means is that other than those who are critical because they don't get the answer they want, most people, I think, believe that, especially with a judge, someone like Judge Carruthers in charge, I don't think you'll find anyone in New Zealand who knows him will see him as anything other than what he is, a very professional, able investigator who's got a great team under him. And I have to say, in the time that I've been in this job and the different IPCA regimes I've seen, certainly it's the best now because if for no other reason, the results are coming much quicker. We're getting the results for these inquiries back in months rather than years in the past, and nothing will reassure the public more than getting results back more quickly.
Greg, at the recruitment level, is there more focus now put on how much scrutiny police officers are going to be under, you know, moral compasses, behaviour? I mean, not just for your first 6 months in service, but for the entire career. Is that something which is focused on a great deal more now at that grassroots level?
Well, yes, certainly there's more scrutiny. Often people of my generation sort of look, we'd probably struggle to get in now because there's certainly much more pre-employment checking. They have to work, the new recruits have to go out and work with police, so they're observed more often. But look, nothing's infallible. There's pressure on to get recruits through, and you're going to make mistakes. What's important is that when they get found, you won't prevent the damage, but when they do get found, that they get dealt with. And bearing in mind, a lot of these cases, it's actually the police that are bringing them before the courts. Two quite high-profile drug cases in Auckland recently. They were discovered by police, brought to the public through the courts by police. So we are actually out there digging them out. We hope there's not more coming in. You always hope these things, but we draw from the public. We are the public. For every house out there that's got a police officer in, there's 4 or 5 people that aren't in the police. So we can just hope we get it right.
Yeah, and for good reason, under intense scrutiny. Greg O'Connor, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.